Juneteenth, and we are taking a look at the history of that celebration with other celebrations happening this evening that you can attend.
TxDOT announcing a new anti-drunk driving campaign. How long it's been since our state has seen a deathless day on the road.
And 10 days in a row of triple-digit heat index values. We're going to see that again today, and it is going to be hot for the foreseeable future. Your forecast coming up.
And as we celebrate Juneteenth this afternoon, one point of fact that even though it dates back to the end of the Civil War, it only recently became a federal holiday.
This day set aside to mark the day that slaves in Texas finally were notified that they were emancipated by federal decree. Leslie Hudson with what you may not know and how spreading the word is one way to celebrate today's holiday.
Emancipation Day, Freedom Day, Jubilee Day. Whatever you call it, Juneteenth is the day African Americans celebrate the day the last slaves were freed.
It's important, especially today, but it was important in the past because you're talking about a group of people who were in a society, but they were not of the society because they were enslaved.
One way that Juneteenth is celebrated is by spreading knowledge.
First of all, the name Juneteenth actually came from a white general. His name was General Gordon Granger. It wasn't just Texas who had not legally abolished slavery. And 1995, it was discovered that Mississippi never abolished slavery. So 2013 was when Mississippi slavery was legally abolished.
Another little-known fact is there is a Juneteenth flag. The flag is red, white, and blue, and includes the star of the Texas flag and the new star representing a new freedom and a new people.
It has, in my opinion, even a larger impact that goes beyond African American history because it's had an impact on U.S. history.
I'm Leslie Hudson reporting.
And here's a list of some Juneteenth celebrations that are happening today. Incarnate Word University will be hosting their third annual Juneteenth event from 2:30 this afternoon until 7 tonight. It's going to take place at their Broadway campus. The Tobin Center for the Performing Arts will host a gospel celebration today. It'll go from 5 to 8 this evening, and at True Vision Church will have a celebration beginning at 7 o'clock this evening. There will be food trucks, live music, and a fireworks show.
You can find everything Juneteenth related on our website. All you have to do is scan this code. It's a QR code, and it's on your screen right now.
Other news this noon, TxDOT announcing a new anti-drunk driving campaign in hopes of helping more Texans stay alive on our roadways. The Faces of Drunk Driving campaign encourages Texans to not drink and drive and always choose a sober ride. Last year, more than 1 in 4 of all traffic deaths across our state were caused by drunk drivers. The campaign focuses on people who experience the consequences or the results of drunk driving. TxDOT hopes this can remind drivers why finding a sober ride is so important.
Driving under the influence is a choice, and it can come with devastating and deadly consequences.
We've had a death every day on Texas roadways for about 2.5 years. November 7th, 2000, the last day without a death.
And developing right now, investigators are looking into an early morning fire downtown. Take a look at the scene at around 4:30 in the morning on East Commerce near North Presa. Right now, information a bit limited. We can tell you that crews put a small fire outside of a building. The flames did not get inside. We're going to bring you some more information as it becomes available.
And we have new information regarding a late night police chase that ended in a 3-car pileup. One person is facing charges. The San Antonio police saying that person is 42 years old. His name not being released at this time, but police say just after 10 last night, a red truck involved in a police chase ran a red light in the intersection of Southwest Military and New Laredo Highway. That truck hit 2 other cars. 3 people were injured in the crash, including 2 children. The driver is facing an aggravated assault charge.
San Antonio firefighters say that a trash fire under an overpass caused multiple lanes of I-35 to be shut down overnight and happened just after 10:30 west of downtown. Fire crews say the fire was inside the water drainage area underneath I-35. They had a tough time putting that out. The cause of that fire not yet released.
Also developing, Governor Greg Abbott has vetoed a bill that would have increased the criminal penalties for pet owners after a dog is deemed dangerous. House Bill 4759, or the Raymond Nahara Act, had made it through the House and Senate and was sent to Abbott's desk last month. It was written by San Antonio area lawmakers after the death of Nahara in February. The 81-year-old was attacked by a pack of dogs that were previously deemed dangerous. Ramon Nahara Act would have allowed for anonymous reporting to Animal Care Services and would have made it easier for ACS to remove dangerous dogs.
Juneteenth, and Father's Day are supposed to be times of celebration, but that is not always the case for dozens of families across the U.S. today.
As Amy Kiley tells us, their loved ones were a victim of mass shootings over the weekend.
It's every parent's worst nightmare, tenfold.
Today's holiday is a time of sadness for many after a string of mass shootings over the weekend. At least one teenager is dead. 9 others were injured in St. Louis. That's after gunfire at a party. In Illinois,
seeing what was coming down the street, and I knew we were going to have a significant response to the area.
At least 22 people were hurt, and 1 is dead after a mass shooting at a Juneteenth celebration yesterday. 5 more are casualties of violence in Chicago. A couple hours east of Seattle, 2 are dead and 2 victims were wounded.
I guess everything just went haywire.
Officials say a suspect opened fire at a festival campground Saturday night. Near Atlanta, at least 5 people are hurt after police say a dispute resulted in gunfire at a nightclub yesterday. And close to Los Angeles, 8 people were injured after a shooting around midnight Saturday. The youngest victim is 16 years old.
You have an officer down.
And it's not just mass shootings. Officials say a man showed up at a central Pennsylvania police station Saturday and began shooting at patrol vehicles. They say he later injured a state trooper, killed this man, and got into a shootout with law enforcement.
The only analogy I could draw is a war zone.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The Crown Act is now law in the state of Texas. We're going to break down what that law is and what it means to people living in San Antonio.
There will be a lot of smiling faces Thursday night, not just from the first pick in the draft, but also from his family. More on that coming up.
Plus, the annual Juneteenth golf tournament happening right this minute. How many golfers participate and what this money goes toward. The players teeing off for a good cause at the Juneteenth annual golf tournament today.
Tiffany Huerta shares how this event brought fun, excitement, and all the while raising funds for children.
The Juneteenth annual golf tournament kicked off this morning at the club at Centera.
A day on the green to help raise money for children. About 40 golfers participated today.
We've been doing this for 27 years. And it's something that we passionately do because it's for the 19th of June.
Juneteenth is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States. San Antonio Juneteenth Commissioner Byron Miller enjoys seeing the community come together for a good cause.
The proceeds do go to help young children from infancy on with child development with the Miller Child Development Center. Miller Child Development Center was started by Hazel Miller, who happens to be my mother, and it's the first child development center, and it's the oldest child development center serving the children on the eastern sector of San Antonio.
Miller hopes to continue this event for many years to come. Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
Look like a lot of fun. Hopefully they get done early this afternoon.
All anybody's talking about right now is not what the temperature is, it's how it feels.
Oh, it's just the air is so thick, it's so muggy, there's so much humidity, and that continues. Dew points are still high again today. The aquifer is down half a foot to 640.3. It keeps falling. Some rain would be nice, not in the forecast. Molds, pigweed, grass, all there in the low category. No big deal there. We do have a new tropical depression, though, in the Atlantic, and one right behind that could be developing as well. We're going to show it to you coming up.
Some new developments in a story that we've been bringing to you all morning about a traffic accident in Kerr County, right in between Comfort and Fredericksburg. The Department of Public Safety working what is now considered a deadly crash on Highway 87.
Yeah, they tell us there are multiple fatalities in the crash. It is the 900 block of Highway 87, once again between Comfort and Kerrville. KSAT is sending a crew out there, and we will bring you the latest information on our website and, of course, on our newscast later on this afternoon at KSAT12 News at 5.
Meantime, Texas has joined 20 other states that have signed the Crown Act into law. And women in San Antonio and men are celebrating the news. The Crown Act prohibiting discrimination based on natural hairstyles such as locks, afros, and braids. The black community, which wears these styles and more, will now no longer have to worry about being treated differently when applying for jobs, for example. Many San Antonio hairstylists are happy about this change. Brittany Grant, for one, was worried about one of her young clients when he shared his anxiety about his corporate job after college.
In a new job up north in Dallas, and it's a corporate job, and they haven't seen my hair, and I'm kind of nervous. I don't really know how I should have it, but I don't want to cut my locks.
And now he doesn't have to. Austin was the first city in Texas to approve the Crown Act last year in June. It's going to go into effect statewide on September 1st.
Well, here's a big mess somebody's got to clean up. An SUV crashed into this Houston-based Starbucks over the weekend. According to the Harris County Constable, the driver of the SUV lost control of the car, drove through the front of the building. A barista was injured in the crash. Their injuries not known, the extent of them. It is also unknown if the driver will face any charges.
Margaritaville just opening up its newest location. It is on South Padre Island, and it's getting a lot of attention. But did you know there were already 3 locations in our state, each one a little bit different? South Padre Island is a beachfront property like Conroe, a lake resort, and Crystal Beach, an RV resort. You can learn more about each one of these resorts by heading over to our website at KSAT.com.
And we're looking at new drone video that shows the destruction from a powerful EF3 tornado in the town of Perrington. We don't have the video for you, but we can tell you that town was hit last Thursday. 4 people were killed. Dozens were injured. Homes and businesses flattened. And there is still a search on for survivors as emergency response teams continue to help in that area.
Meantime, Governor Greg Abbott giving an update on the state's response to that tornado in Perrytown today. He said state and local officials are on the ground to restore power and ensure the safety and well-being of our fellow Texans. I thank all emergency response personnel, local officials, and volunteers for their selfless dedication to help their fellow Texans rebuild and recover from these devastating storms, end quote.
We've had that devastation out there in West Texas. We've also seen in the evenings some pretty severe thunderstorms just rolling through Fredericksburg and coming, and then they get like to 281 and they stop right there. It's like
I
done.
was watching one just disappear on me.
Yeah, you could see the clouds yesterday. I mean, it's like a huge storm, right? You're right. Just put on the brakes, stopped. It's been mainly across the hill country, and I think that's where we see it again today. We're not expecting rain here in San Antonio. Interesting thing, though, going on in the Atlantic. We now have a tropical depression. Now, notice there's nothing in the Caribbean, but out in the Atlantic, we've got not 1, not 2, but I think 3 now systems we've got to watch. There's another wave coming off of Africa that shows some promise. This is unusual because typically it's not until late July, August, September that we start to look this far out in the Atlantic. It has to do with the fact that waters are warmer than they've been really in a long time since records have been kept. The waters are extremely warm, and it's contributing to early development out here. This one in particular likely will become Brett, but right now it's Tropical Depression number 3. It is officially named now, or at least has a designation. Winds at 35 miles per hour, gusting to 45, and it's moving west at 21 miles per hour. The wave behind it has about a 40% chance of development, and again, there's one behind that in the coming days that could show some signs of development. But let's focus on this tropical depression. Where does it head? Well, it takes it now west into the Caribbean, so this means we need to watch it as a Category 1 hurricane. The Caribbean islands here certainly need to keep an eye on this, from St. Lucia to Guadeloupe, up towards the British and U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. All these areas need to watch as this system makes its way west. We do have some time to watch it. This is over a week's period, but Yes, it's an early start, and it could get a little bit busy here in the coming weeks. We'll certainly keep you posted there. 90 right now outside here in San Antonio. We've got a few clouds out there. Dew point is at 76, and I keep thinking this number will come down some. It was at 75 early. It's actually rising, and that's not good. Southeasterly winds at 7. Look at the heat index. We're already above 100 for that feels like number. As long as this humidity is around, we're going to see some ridiculous numbers when it comes to that feels like temperature. 79 the dew point in the Helotes, 79 Bulverde. These are awful, awful numbers. 78 Stinson, 78 the dew point in Pleasanton. When you factor that in with the heat, almost everyone is in the triple digits for that feels like temperature. 104 is what it feels like in Canyon Lake. 107 Pleasanton, 108 in Gonzales. We're already drifting into the danger zone. I think this afternoon for sure, we're going to see those heat indices jump up above 110. You got to be careful. These are the kind of numbers where it just it can happen so quickly. Heat illness and the heat index could be as high as 119 in Kennedy, 115 in Pearsall, 108 in Lakey. Big numbers. And so today is also another CPS Energy Yellow Day, which means we got to continue to conserve energy. The grid's going to be a little bit stressed. You know the drill here. There's some things you can do. And if you want to learn more, you can scan that QR code. We've got some more information on our website. Meantime, cloud covers cleared out pretty quickly. We're going to see some high clouds maybe drift across today, but plenty of sun. And as we get into the afternoon, the main risk for thunderstorms is going to be off to our east. In fact, tornadoes reported there in Florida this morning. But there is a small risk of a few storms in the hill country this afternoon. And we can see that here with our futurecast. A couple storms popping up here and there. Mainly, I'd say Fredericksburg and points north. We'll keep an eye on it. If we do get a storm, there is a risk for some hail and gusty winds. But I think this all stays north of San Antonio. So 104 tomorrow, 103 Wednesday, 101 Thursday. Small chances of rain Wednesday and Thursday as we get on the east side of our ridge, but not great chances. And the heat sticks with us right on into the weekend.
I want to say, nice forecast, but nope, just can't do it.
That's fair.
We've got to look ahead to draft night coming up Thursday and what it will mean for your Spurs. We have just come off of Father's Day, and the celebration will continue this week for one dad who's going to be smiling pretty big Thursday night, Felix Wembanyama. That's because his 19-year-old son, Victor Wembanyama, is expected to be drafted with the first pick by the San Antonio Spurs. He will instantly become the face of their storied franchise. The Spurs also have 2 picks in the second round at 33 and 44. They have made some decent second-round picks in their history, i.e. Manu Ginobili, but the Spurs are stacked with picks over the next several years. They could bundle a bunch together and move up and get another top first-rounder, or make a trade and bring in a vet to help lead the young team. Regardless of what they do after the first pick, we know what that first pick will mean to this franchise. You can put this draft right up there with the David Robinson, Tim Duncan draft. Both number 1 picks went on to lead the Spurs to championships. David and Tim together got 2. Tim won 3 more. And that is what Spurs fans want to feel again. The 22 years of excitement of playoffs and championships. The Spurs have not been in the playoffs since 2019 when they lost to the now champion Denver Nuggets in the first round. Back then it was 4-2. So let's take a look at what this week will look like. Wednesday, we have live reports starting from Brooklyn, home of the draft. Larry Ramirez will be there. Then Thursday, it is draft night. We'll have some extended coverage for you starting at 5, 6 at 6:30, and then again on the night beat. And Thursday, the NBA draft, 7 o'clock, live on KSAT12. Hey, San Antonio FC is on a nice long break. Their last match last Wednesday, a rematch with San Diego in their house on Wednesday. SAFC scored a pair of goals from Adrian and Carter Manley, but the game ended in another draw at 2 apiece. San Antonio walked away with 1 point. They are now 6-2, 7 on the season. After the match, head coach Alan Marcina talked about Carter's recent contributions in scoring his first goal of the season.
Great finish. Very proud of Carter, especially what he's been through over the course of preseason and in season. And unfortunately, the cramps subbed him. We would love to keep him on the field and push a little bit more minutes, but proud of the finish. He also had a very, very good game against one of the best wing backs in the league, and we felt he did very, very well. Again, all in all, it's it's a point, top 3 in the standings. We'll reflect, move on.
All right, so they get the rest of the week to get ready for the big match Saturday night. They're going to be back in action against another California opponent, the Sacramento Republic FC. That game is set for 10 p.m. San Antonio time.
All right, looking forward to it. Coming up in our next half hour, the race for the 2024 presidency is on. One of the big topics President Biden is focusing on in his campaign this year.
Plus, we are going to get an inside look at a local newspaper that is unlike any other newspapers in our community.
San Antonio's African-American community has depended on some of the city's smallest newspapers for the news. There's been a few over the years, but right now there's a free weekly out every Wednesday. It's still around.
Along with events and accomplishments, our Jesse DeGallado says the San Antonio Observer also has a harder news edge of interest to readers throughout the city.
The front page cover stories grab your attention. Just exactly what the San Antonio Observer wants.
You're not going to be heard unless you're loud in some way, shape, or form.
Imagery is the hook, says its editor and publisher Stephanie Zarello and her husband Wasim Ali. His father, the late Hussein Ali, started the San Antonio Observer in his garage nearly 30 years ago. But unlike other East Side community newspapers,
nobody was really talking about politics.
The San Antonio Observer took on politics and controversy with headlines like, "I'm scared," after a rash of police shootings on the East Side back then.
Did he face any backlash as a result?
Oh my God, yeah.
A little setback, it's like a slingshot. We get set back, but we'll get shot forward at some time. We just have to be patient.
One of their regular columnists, historian Mario Salas, says after all, they owe it to their readers.
Black media creates a network of people that want to know what's going on but may not pick it up anywhere else but that newspaper.
I think that they know the Observer still has their back. If nobody else will, let me call the Observer.
Yet long before the Observer was first published in 1995.
This bus bench still says register in stylized letters, the predecessor of the San Antonio Observer.
The Alis bought the San Antonio Register, first published in 1931, but no longer in circulation. Much of the focus now, the online version of the San Antonio Observer, extending its reach beyond the East Side community.
You know, it's designed to open everybody's minds, to give you a different perspective.
Jesse DeGallado, KSAT12 News.
Let's look ahead now to some of the city closures today in honor of Juneteenth. That includes all city libraries, the municipal court, and all Metro Health clinics and offices. Some city services, though, remain available. Animal care services is open. And despite the heat, you still can visit all of the city parks and trails today.
And in anticipation of the heat today, the city of San Antonio is opening 14 cooling centers. Centers will be open from noon, so they're open right now until 8 o'clock tonight. If you need to take your pet with you to the cooling center, Animal Care Services has got a kennel for you to use. You can find the list of those 14 cooling centers on our website, KSAT.com.
So how hot is it going to feel out there today? Already, I'm betting around 107.
Well, right now it feels like 101, but this afternoon it can be above 107.
All right.
We're talking like 112. In some spots here around San Antonio. Hey, I want to let you know that a tornado just about an hour ago was reported along the Florida coast, right near Destin, Miramar Beach. You got Panama City here. Pretty interesting. We're seeing video now of this tornado touching down there, potentially doing some damage. So this severe weather, these rounds of severe weather we keep seeing across the country have been just really active here over the last week or so. But yes, a tornado reported just earlier there around the city of Destin in Florida, and more severe weather possible there across Florida today. Hey, we saw some severe weather yesterday here. As we look at our KSAT Connect picture, this was looking at that big storm. So this is at 604 in Heber in North San Antonio, looking north. And you can see the big anvil cloud here from that storm that developed up around Kerrville. Did put down some hail and then quickly fell apart before it made it down here. There's going to be a potential for a couple more storms in the hill country today. But it's these numbers that are important. 103 this afternoon in San Antonio, that heat index close to 112. Guys.
We're a little more than halfway through the month of June, but the road work in and around the Alamo City is expected to continue. So let's go ahead and get you in the know before you have to go. 281 over here on the north side of San Antonio. Plenty of work always takes place, but this time we're going to see some curb construction happen. Now, this does begin Monday, June 19th, and it's going to take us all the way to the end of the work week, Friday, June 23rd. It all starts around 9 in the morning, so be prepared for that because it's going to wrap around 3 in the afternoon. Let's keep our fingers crossed that's the case. Single lane closures on the southbound frontage roads right around Borgfeld Road. All right, I'm going to take a jump over here to I-10 in Kendall County. Rail and painting repairs. If you travel through the area, expect to see this work wrap up on Friday, June 23rd, but it's during a pretty busy time, 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. Alternating lane closures on the frontage road in both directions from State Highway 46 to US 87. I have one more for you here at I-10 in Guadalupe County. Barrier setting. And this does begin overnight Monday, June 19th and should wrap pretty quickly Tuesday, June 20th. It starts at 9 in the evening, as I mentioned, and should wrap around 5 in the morning. We'll see a single westbound main lane closure at Santa Clara Road, so always know what to expect. Grab your phones right now, open those camera apps, and scan that QR code that's on your screen now. That takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. I have updated the list of closures that are happening throughout the month of June, so know what to expect before you hit those roadways.
Now that it is official, President Joe Biden's re-election campaign is in California, where he plans to hold a series of fundraisers and official events focused on climate change.
ABC's Ike Ajachi on how Biden will be campaigning without crowds for now and why some Republicans are attacking the frontrunner in their presidential primary instead.
After kicking off his campaign in the battleground state of Pennsylvania, President Biden is making his way across the country to California. He'll first travel to Palo Alto in the Bay Area for a mix of campaign fundraisers and official business, highlighting the urgency of taking bold action on the climate. A White House official says the president will tour a coastal wetland and announce more than $600 million for climate adaptation projects funded by the Inflation Reduction Act and the bipartisan infrastructure law. Projects like better protecting our nation's power grid from extreme weather events, as well as preparing coastal and Great Lakes communities for climate change impacts like sea level rise, tidal flooding, and storm surges. Biden's focus on infrastructure was also a central point of his visit to Pennsylvania over the weekend, where he took an aerial tour of the collapsed portion of I-95 in Philadelphia, a roadway that carries over 160,000 cars a day.
There's no more important project right now in the country.
Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says a temporary fix to the span is coming much quicker than expected.
We will have I-95 reopen within the next 2 weeks.
Meanwhile, in the race for the White House, Republicans continued to attack former President Donald Trump's legal exposure. In a recent interview, Republican presidential candidate Chris Christie criticizing Trump's conduct.
We would not be here if Donald Trump had simply returned the documents, the dozens of times the government asked him to return them, the times that the grand jury served a subpoena for them. He waited, defied the government, and then wound up having his house raided.
Members of Biden's campaign say he won't hold regular rallies until later in the campaign season. Biden plans to travel to Chicago and Maryland before the end of the month. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead, the search for a man accused of hurting a little baby. It continues today. What police say happened to the child and the number you can call if you know where this man is.
Plus, the rim filled to the rim with water. What caused the rushing water that canceled Father's Day plans at that shopping center?
But first, how many people lost power in multiple states from all those storms over the weekend? We've got a list.